Okay, good afternoon. My name is Irvin Wakescheid. I'm giving this presentation on science. As you may have read in the application I did, I've been teaching science for the past 15 years. I got my certification in composite science, and I taught in El Paso, Texas for 15 years. I have a degree in geology, a degree in theology, and a degree in Latin. And I thought today, as a class subject, I would talk about anatomy and physiology. In El Paso, they recently opened up a new medical school. And one of the problems that the students had with taking anatomy and physiology was understanding the words, the concept of the words. Where do the words come from? Memorizing all these words, gastro and cardio and minimus, maximus. But the thing is, you probably already know what these words mean if you take the regular vernacular that we have today and apply it to anatomy and physiology. Well, first of all, before we get into that, let's look at what anatomy and physiology is. Anatomy is the study of the structure of the human body and the relationship between the body parts. Physiology is the study of the function of the body and the body parts as a whole. So we're looking at structure, anatomy, and function of physiology. So when somebody studies anatomy and physiology, they're looking both at what the body is and how the different parts function, act, and interact with one another. Now, to begin with, I had 6 years of Latin. I have a degree in Latin from Rome, and one of the things my Latin professor said is that 52% of the English language is derived from Latin via Old French and Old German. Looks at a lot of world history, the conquest of Britain and all that. But we have in English, 52% of our words, root words, are Latin. And especially when it comes to anatomy and physiology, when it comes to naming the body parts, we just don't say the arm or the leg, but we have a technical term for it, a Latin or a Greek root. So, for example, when you see the word cardio, the Latin cardio means heart. So when we talk about cardiogram, it means a measurement of the heart. When you go to do exercise, you have your cardiovascular, you have your cardio exercises. They work on the heart and the circulation of the heart. Gastro. Is a Latin which means stomach. So somebody who is a gastronomical, or something that's a gastronomical delight, is something that's great for the stomach. When I lived in Europe, I spent the summer in France, and the food there was considered gastronomically impressive because you had all the different flavors and all the different cheeses, and that was a gastronomical delight. But it means the stomach. It was good for the stomach. So anybody you see who's a gastrologist is somebody who studies the stomach. Hema. It means blood. So a hematologist would be the study of the blood. Hematoma is a swelling, it would be like a bruise, a hematoma. So if you look at the root word of the word that we use in anatomy and physiology, you can figure out what it's referring to by the root word. So, what I thought I'd do today is take some words and break it down into some basic English based on the Latin root. One of the big muscles in the body, the one that adds a classic V shape to the men and the women in sports, it's called latissimus dorsi. Now, looking at that, you would say, where is the latissimus dorsi? But if you think about it, for you sports fans, if you're watching football and somebody has a lateral pass, what side of the, or where does the pass go? Well, lateral pass is a sideways pass. Not a forward pass, not a reverse pass, but a sideways pass. So lateral means side. So the root word of latissimus is side. So we're talking here and here. The dorsi. When we think of a dolphin or a shark, we talk of the dorsal fin. Where do you find the dorsal fin on the shark or on the dolphin or even on the whale? Well, it's on the back. So you have your animal and it has the big fin. That's your dorsal. So if you look at your latissimus dorsi, it's the side muscle in the back. That's what adds that V shape. And the issimus suffix at the end of the word means biggest. So latissimus means the biggest side back muscle, latissimus dorsi. So when you talk about your lats, when you go to the gym and exercise your lats, you're doing your side muscles and your back muscles. That's why it's called latissimus dorsi, your side back. A lot of terms, maximus, for example, means biggest. Minimus means smallest. So you can talk about the big muscle back here is called your gluteus maximus. For some people it's bigger than others, but it's the biggest. It's the biggest muscle in the back of the leg. Other words that we use, prefixes and suffixes, superior, inferior. If something is superior, something is going to be above it. The superior vena cava. Superior means above, vena, of course, means a vein, and cava, which means a cave. So technically, the superior vena cava would be the upper vein above the heart. The heart is the cave. Inferior, again, using the words you already know, inferior, superior. Inferior is below. It's the largest vein below the heart. Inferior vena cava. So much of our anatomy physiology is based on that. A lot of our words, glucose comes from the Latin which means sugar. Cranium. Cranial means skull in Latin. Cardio, as you said, is heart. So much of our science is based on the Latin and the Greek root. And from there, we can determine what body part we're talking about, what the function is, and what the process is. Thank you.